welcome to the podcast called
Talking Vertical.
Talking Vertical. Yeah, I wanted to call it Climb Into My Van, but you know it comes with its preconceptions.
Might get a different audience.
Yeah. So, welcome to the podcast. It's the first of at least 10 for the first series. I think we're going to definitely commit to at least 10 podcasts, and then see where it goes. See how many people listen. If it's more than 2, being us 2, we'll go from there. Do you want to start with who you are?
Yeah, I'm Richard. I've been climbing 12 or so years. Done sort of all sorts of climbing, from sport, bouldering, trad. Sort of dabbled in the climbing industry, and then 2 years ago decided to sort of make it my main career.
What, like... Let me ask you a question. Why do you like climbing?
Don't know, just the sport resonates with me. It's almost as mental as it is physical, and there's like you can do one day of really hard red pointing, and then you could almost have a rest day the next day playing around on some epic V-diffs that are a number of pitches, so it's quite a versatile sport.
When did you first start climbing?
It was last year of my college. I started climbing as part of a course called BELA, which is basically Expeditionary Leadership Award, which was sort of like a what's the word, like extracurricular subject I was taking, and we sort of like did a bit of climbing on the side of that, and sort of enjoyed that, but was more into hiking and stuff like that at the time. And then when I went to uni didn't have a mountaineering club but had a climbing club, so I joined the climbing club, and climbing sort of took over.
I think they get the warm down jackets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not sure it's actually as cold as it looks.
Yeah.
Currently. Any questions you want to answer yourself?
Well, I'll ask myself.
Yeah.
None so far. That's just a general overview. What about yourself?
What about me? Oh, I like talking about myself. My name's Liam. I have only been climbing 4 or 5 years. I can't remember how long you said now, but it's probably more.
12.
12, yeah. So a bit longer than I have. I like climbing. Yeah, that's me. No, I started climbing in my gap year before university. I started climbing 1 week and then got a job as a climbing instructor 2 weeks later. I'm still not sure why they employed me. And then from there, I've just sort of grown into the climbing world. I've attempted to start a climbing brand, which is going so successful. Hence why you guys are seeing this podcast, and obviously hearing this podcast. It's occurred to me that some of you won't be seeing this. I like climbing just because of the problem-solving aspect. It's kind of social as well. Like, I met Rich through climbing, and it sounds like we're dating. Kind of wish we were sometimes. But yeah, that's me, really.
Yeah.
It feels really odd to talk about yourself.
Yeah, it
sounds like,
puts you on the spot.
You're like, I didn't think about this.
Have you got any goals in climbing?
I'm currently injured, so I injured myself bouldering, which actually, in fact, we've both got the same, or had the same injury. We damaged our ACL. So a future episode are they called episodes?
Yeah.
Future episode is going to be climbing through an injury and climbing through a knee injury.
Yeah.
Specifically because it's something we've got in common. But yeah, my goal is just to literally get back on the end of a rope and climb again.
Cool.
What about you?
Yeah, I've got a few goals. I managed to tick one of my long-term goals last year, which I was happy with, getting my first outdoor 7B. I don't know why it took me having a sabbatical from climbing to actually get around to do it, because I took a year off the year before. But just want to consolidate really this year. It's not the most exciting goal. It's not like one route I want to do, but I want to I want to just consolidate and do a lot of climbing this year at the moment, and then at the tail end of this year, I might have a bit of a better idea of what my next big challenges in climbing will be.
I kind of have a question. Why did you want to talk on this podcast and create this podcast with me? Because it was my baby to start with, and I kind of heard Rich's luscious voice and was like, I wanted to jump on it. But like, what was the reasoning behind it, man?
I like podcasts. Podcasts are a medium that I go to quite a lot for a lot of information on a wealth of subjects. And I've actually found that there's some good climbing podcasts, but it's not oversaturated, and they're generally all about quite knowledge-based, so like it's less experience-based podcasts. But I have noticed lately the climbing-focused podcasts have been popping up more frequently.
Ooh,
so
we've got competition.
Yeah,
we've got competition.
But no, there's always, for the past sort of 3 years, I've wanted to do a podcast, see what it's like, see how it is.
See if we like it. So
yeah.
I think with that in mind, we mentioned earlier, 10 episodes is a goal. So we're going to commit to definitely 10 episodes going forward. We're going to try and release weekly, I believe. Yeah. And with that, we'll try and stay up to date with times and stuff. I think we're both quite experimental in the way we live. So it's definitely from our experiences and stuff. That was one thing that we connected with first. Just an example, I'm currently trying intermittent fasting to try and lose some weight. Just stuff like that. So like, I think a lot of our chat will be about our own experiences, and it's pretty obvious that we're not expert climbers. Rich climbs a little bit harder than I do, but kind of everything we do say in this is mainly our experiences and stuff.
And if you want to do what we do, we recommend probably asking someone who knows a bit more than us before being definite you want to try it.
Yeah, exactly. We might talk about the odd dynamic move, or stuff like converting a van is definitely something that I'm currently doing, and as you can probably see, it's in an interesting state. But yeah, I like that we're not experts at anything that we probably talk about.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of a positive.
Yeah. I think it's that whole sort of just two guys chatting about the sport they love. Yeah.
Should we pick? Because we've gone for 8 minutes now.
Yeah.
Should we pick something to talk about today? Do you want to pick something off the list or something? Is there anything that in the last week or so in the climbing world that you've seen and thought about?
Put me on the spot here.
Yeah, I might have one.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about me. No, like...
Go on then.
Well, guys, no, like, it's interesting. I had a meeting today with a friend who's outside of climbing. It's about making videos, and he'd done some work with Sean and Coxley and Red Bull.
Yeah.
And he said, as climbers, we're quite weird people. And I wondered if you kind of agreed with that as climbers we choose... Am I actually in the shop? As climbers, you choose a lot of time to spend in a warehouse with a down jacket on, and it's kind of counterintuitive. Do you think, as a climbing society, I think my question is, do you think we're quite selfish and self-centered in what we do? Or do you think we're quite open to new people?
I think the climbing community is pretty inclusive. Pretty like, I've not heard anyone talk about a story about them struggling to make connections in the climb, like heading to a climbing wall and be like, oh, just no one talks to me. Like, I've never heard that before. Like, I've always found that whenever I go to a climbing wall, I'm more likely to end up chatting to someone I've never chatted before. But on the other hand, I would say climbers are a bit against the norm of people. Like, we do seem quite an eclectic bunch.
Big words. I'm not sure I'm in it. Well, yeah, I kind of
just
agree with
just
you
about.
Just about. It's just enough.
Just on the edge.
Cool. So moving forward, guys, I think what we're going to do is make this first episode nice and short, nice and chill. This is what we're about. You've kind of heard what we're good. I had something good to say then. There's anything more you want to say on the first episode?
Just lost your train of thought.
I've completely lost my train of thought. It's going to be really, really good, really insightful. But yeah, that's what to expect from us. Also, that's what I was going to say. All of these podcasts, if I don't know how you're listening to it now, I haven't worked out how we're going to distribute it. It will be on all big audio platforms, Spotify, SoundCloud. I'm sure there's more. But if you're watching it on YouTube or if you're not watching it on YouTube, all of these podcasts are going to be recorded video-wise and audio, so you can either watch it, listen to it in your car. Big thing from me is you guys as an audience, your feedback is my oxygen. So whatever you tell us and feedback to us, you'll directly influence the podcast. It's not just going to be me and Rich chatting about all we want to chat about to start with, and forever. We do want to hear you.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for listening, guys. Tune in next time. We'll I don't know, how do you finish a podcast?
Tune in next time. I think that was the moment.